Hey, how are you today? Have you been wondering what 2022 might be holding for you? Maybe I can provide some answers for you. I don't really know. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. It's never a complete science. Like, actually, this isn't science at all, it's magic. But I have tarot card reading, and right now I'm just shuffling the cards, putting my energy into them, asking for what the person watching this might need to know for 2022, and what they might need to keep in the back of their mind for 2022. Now, sometimes these are not always accurate. Sometimes you may perceive it as one thing, and then all of a sudden something else comes out of it. So, open your mind, open your heart, allow yourself to hear this and accept this. Or if you really don't want to, you don't have to accept it. But yeah, just have an open mind. You never know what one can hear and what one can perceive. Communication is very interesting. My favorite thing is the picture of the 6 and the 9 and 2 people standing on the other end of it. One is saying, ooh, 2 cards. The High Priestess and the Knight of Swords reversed. Cool. One is saying that they see a 9. One is saying that they see a 6. Someone else comes up and goes, no, it's an E, because they're standing on the other side of it. Perception is everything. And what you may perceive is different than what I may perceive in cards. So like, right now, the High Priestess is telling me that someone's coming into their power. What the King of Swords is trying to tell me is that there's something shifty going on. The Knight of Coins came up with that one too. Like, someone is keeping a secret, there's a shift going on. But at the same time, the High Priestess is like, yeah, there might be a secret, but I'm okay with that. And kind of like, it's my secret kind of thing, and like, or I have a secret as well. Yeah, there's something shifty, just not, whether you are aware of it or not, there's something going on behind the scenes. Wand reversed. I'm not always great with the Roman numerals, so okay. I'm gonna go put this together and I'll be right back. Also, the cards that popped out were the 8 of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. So you got the King of Swords, High Priestess, Knight of Coins, 8 of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. King of Swords, or Knight of Swords, and 8 of Wands are both reversed. Gonna put this together. I'll be back in a jiff. I'm back. So, the Knight of Swords. It talks about somebody like, somebody hurt you, and I'm assuming it was last year, as this is the first day of the new year. I'm assuming somebody probably hurt you last year. They either exploded out, lost their mind on you, cut off contact with you, or they treated it into themselves, and it had nothing to do with you. It was protecting them. Whether this was a relationship, whether this was someone at work, whether this was a family member, friend, there was some sort of like altercation or situation that went on, and you were kind of left like not really sure what to do. Ooh. Excuse me. So what this card is telling you is like, look at the situation as a whole. You might be missing something in this situation that you're not aware of. See both sides of the situation. Yeah, that person acted a certain way, but what caused that action? Because what you might think was that reaction and action may not actually be the truth. There might be other things. I'm getting a lot of like calm, patience, consider like options. I'm getting a lot of these cards are talking about like just remaining calm, patient, understanding. So, when you first started with this connection, whether this, again, work, relationship, I'm not quite able to pick up on whether it was that or that, not right now, but it seemed perfect. Like everything right now, or at that moment, like it just seemed like exactly what you were looking for and what you wanted. And it was that like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been looking for my entire life. And that was great. But then something happened. So what the card talks about is like, I'm not sure his name, but this guy finds out that all of the air, like everything, the estate is going to the cats. He then gets really shifty. And that's what happened was this person found something out and started to get like shifty, started to keep secrets from you, starting to withdraw, starting to like lose their mind a little bit because they weren't sure how to approach and go further with it. You struggled when that happened. You struggled to accept it. You struggled to like see that, okay, this is what's going on. This is like, I need to just let it be the way it is and continue moving on. You wanted to hold on so hard to that, but at the same time, holding on to the past will not help you move forward. You need to start being able to let it go. It happened. It's there. It's in the past. And that's like, yeah, it hurt. But at the same time, we're here. Look at how far you've come. Look at how far you have that you can go. It's okay to start moving on and picking up. You don't need to forget about it, but moving on, that's okay to do. Now this one, the Wheel of Fortune, it's talking about some sort of offer. There's healing that's being done, whether by you, whether by the other person, whether by completely third party, there is some sort of healing. And there's an offer coming in for you that is going to be really exciting. Whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship, whether it's just something. The universe is starting to put these pieces together and moving towards you. And it's going to be exciting. The big thing to keep in the back of your mind is that things can change in a moment's notice. At a drop of a hat, things can just change. And it's always important to remember that just because your life is where it is right now does not mean that 2 months from now, 4 months from now, a year from now, that's where your life's gonna be. Things can change. Someone could come into your life and look at you and say, hey, I'm wanting to do this. Would you like to do this with me? And all of a sudden, you've now moved 3-4 hours away. You've now jumped on a plane and gone to Australia. You never really know. But that only really happens when you stop trying to force things to happen. And that's something else that these cards are telling me is like, you gotta just let it go. You gotta let the flow happen. Find your routines. Find grounding. So get routines set in your life. Get those things going. Sorry, my incense just dropped everything, which is kind of cool that it happened at this point. And find those moments that are going to let you just breathe. One thing that I do for grounding to help me, I will imagine that my toes and my fingers are roots. And I'll just sit there and I'll let the roots move into the ground and I'll envision them going down. Now this only works if you're visual. If you're not a visual person and you don't see things in your head when you're reading or anything, this doesn't help you. I don't have any tips to help you ground when you're like that yet. I'm still learning those. But imagine that your roots, you're looking for the nutrients, you're looking for the water. When you find that water, you're now soaking it up and bringing it into you. That's gonna be the calming part. And I find like, if I ever start getting like overreacting, I have to take that, okay, let's reassess, let's redo this, and let's take a breath. You're gonna be okay. But yeah, the past doesn't look that great. But the future looks kind of cool. I hope you have a good day and I hope this helps. Until next time.